Well, it's getting a bit cold here at Newmarket as we head into an English winter, but things are hotting up in Australia as we have a look at the international contenders for this year's Melbourne Cup. The Japanese Raider Warp Speed was very disappointing in the Caulfield Cup. He sat out the back, he was one of the first off the bridle, and he didn't pick up at all. Having said that, it was his first run in quite some time, and the Melbourne Cup has always been the target. The last time he went over this trip, he wasn't beaten far in the spring version of the tennis shoe. So I wouldn't write him off completely, but he will need to be much better than what he was in the Caulfield Cup. Willie Mullins is a man on a mission, having stated that the Melbourne Cup is the one race he most wants to win anywhere in the world, and he once again this year is double-handed with Absurd and Vauban returning for the Cup. Absurd ran with plenty of merit in this race last year when just over 5 lengths behind the winner in 7th spot. They ran the race at a strong gallop that day, and he was the first home of those that sat close to the leaders. They have been riding him a tad cooler this season, and he does arrive in good form, having won the Chester Stakes at his most recent start. Kieran McAvoy, a thrice winner of the Melbourne Cup, picks up the ride, and with a slightly lighter weight this time round, this fella looks a strong contender for this year's Cup. Favourite backers from last year probably won't be in a hurry to go in with Vauban again this year, but he's a lot better than that, and I think it's fair to say that the run was just too bad to be true. His trainer, Willie Mullins, has purposely kept him busy this year, and he does arrive in good form, having won at York before a strong effort in defeat when runner-up to the world's best stayer, Kyprios, in the Irish St Leger. He will need to be taken on trust after last year, but he wouldn't be the first horse to win the Cup, having bombed at their first attempt. The Brian Ellison-trained 6-year-old, one smooth operator, smashed his way into the Melbourne Cup when he dotted up in this year's Geelong Cup. He was handed a 1 kilogram penalty for that, and he needed that to ensure a start in the Cup. Now, don't worry about this fellow over 3,200 metres. He won the Northumberland Plate at Newcastle when he was last seen over this trip in June. He's tactically versatile, but for a stayer, he does possess a big turn of foot and is very strong at the finish. And he does have a bit of history on his side, with 3 international raiders having completed the Geelong and Melbourne Cup double. Of this year's international contenders for the Melbourne Cup, I thought Absurd ran as well as any of the beaten brigade in this race last year, especially given the way the race was run. And I think Willie Mullins has improved him since then. Kieran McAvoy picks up the ride, so we know we're going to get plenty of help from the saddle. So Absurd's going to be my best bet of the internationals for this year's Melbourne Cup.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.